Hello, I am Anuoltos, and welcome back once again to another episode of none other than the Zero AD replays for Alpha 22. And the reason I haven't been doing one last week is because I've been very sick. In fact, just yesterday I was coughing up blood. So, for anyone who's concerned, uh, I'm sure there's reason to be concerned, and I'm still a bit sick today. So if I cough a bit, if I have a little bit of a sniffle, if suddenly I get very mucusy and phlegmatic, don't be surprised. So anyway, here we have a classic Ptolemies against. I believe these are the Gauls. I actually do have a copy of the Gallic Wars, so I could, if I really wanted to, just pull it out and start quoting Caesar. But for now, let's actually take a look at what's happening in the game. Red player Liberty here is building a barracks and is in the process of building some houses. Already has a farmstead up and is getting that food up and is building a storehouse, presumably to grab some wood. Meanwhile, on the other end, we've got Temple over here, building a house, already having a farmstead, getting that food early on, and already grabbing plenty of wood. And look at that, another farmstead. This one is close to these animals, so I can see why you would build one. So yeah, it does look like Red player Liberty over here is going for the early barracks and is building plenty of houses. A pretty classic strat, plenty of houses all around. You know, it keeps you from having to worry about that later on in the game, and also fulfills some building requirements for advancing to future phases. So that's pretty good. But I'm presuming that the red player probably is down on resources, yes, as I expected, because of course the red player was building more buildings. But currently I'm seeing food gathering cavalry, not seeing any rush happening of any sort. Although there are some troops getting produced. By the looks of it, they are being sent to gather resources. And there goes cavalry off into the distance. I'm getting a very low frame rate right now. Don't know why. Well, I know why. It's because I've got a pretty trashy computer. But you know, it goes up and it goes down. That's just life for you. That classic 2 at a time production. We'll see where that ends up leading for the red player. The red player has got the wood game locked down. It doesn't look like a lot of research in resource gathering has been done, though, so maybe that is not the priority today. Guess the priority is getting all these buildings up. Meanwhile, purple player is already building farms, getting those early farms up. A long-term, steady food growth, always good to have. And maybe I should reboot my recording so that I don't have problems with ultra lag. I don't know. But there they go. Okay, I've rebooted the recording. Things are slightly less laggy, but they're going to get laggy eventually. The game's going fine. The red player is now producing fields. Has the red player run out of berry bushes? By the looks of it, yes. but the purple player is already on it. And the purple player continues to produce some houses. Purple player's troops are moving. Is this a rush? Could this be a rush, or could this be a scouting party?
DSD? DSD?
There is an engagement occurring.
DSD?
But in responding to the camel, the purple player has let the cat out of the bag on a number of troops that are roaming out here. And it looks like the red player has reacted, moving some troops away from the front.
DSD?
But they're still getting hit. They didn't move away quite fast enough. Some more camel archers are getting produced. And this early rush strat seems to be working fine. But now they are having to deal with all these skirmishers, launching out what seems to be a superiority in firepower due to numbers. And they just can't stand up to that. And they're forced to retreat. Red player, moving on, moving in. Wait, no. Pulling back. Choosing not to pursue. Of course, pursuit would not be very wise, because the purple player has faster units moving about. I mean, of course, cavalry against infantry. We know who's faster there. But now they're moving for the north. And perhaps curving about, trying to flank. That's probably what's going to happen here. They're going to come down from the north. But if they're looking to kill any civilians or anyone out here gathering resources, it's not going to happen since there's no one up here. But the purple player probably doesn't know that yet, since this area should theoretically be unscouted for the purple player. And I just saw 0 frame rates for a second there on my fraps. Oh no. But nevertheless, the purple player is moving on in to consolidate troops. And a new farm is a new field, I should say. Let's be honest here. The technical term here is field. Can't make the pros angry here. Camel Archer is standing out here, perhaps as a forward scout. No defensive buildings. The red player has built up a wall of houses and is currently in the process of expanding the economy. Purple player trying to come in from the north again. But really, the only thing you're going to destroy is a couple of unfinished houses if you come in that way. Well, of course, if you come in close enough to the civic center, you can target some of the women in the fields. But there he goes.
DSD?
Oh wait, these are caught out here. The red player moves to respawn, but the purple player is already on the retreat. Having gotten what he wanted, having killed everyone in here, and left. Very wise move to retreat once the job is done. Purple player doubles back onto the pursuing red player's forces, taking advantage of numerical superiority and consolidating in the north, perhaps aiming for a future attack. Purple player moving back east. And really filling out the fields around the civic center, and also now building additional houses. No special buildings up yet. The red player is slowly running out of wood here. The red player is going to have to perhaps expand out for more wood. But of course, there's still this wood and still some up here. And there's always this right here. The purple player is attacking on two fronts. That seems to be what's happening here. The red player is moving in. Oh wait, no, retreating back to defend against the purple player. The red player has plenty of skirmishers and some nice anti-cavalry pikemen there. Pikemen very strong against cavalry. But they will not be able to launch an effective pursuit against the purple player. So the red player seems to be moving in for a full-scale attack. The question is, has the purple player noticed these troops yet? Judging by the distance, I don't think that the purple player would have noticed. But if not, then certainly now. Here they come in full force. Purple player is retreating. Troops at the edge. And is now gathering troops to engage the red player. The red player chooses not to engage. This is not the battle that the red player chooses to fight. Or maybe the red player is waiting for the heavier anti-cavalry infantry. There it is. And here comes the fight. Look at that. They're engaging right at the front. Not really the cavalry, but now they've reached the cavalry. Now they're taking them down. Plenty of skirmishers in the back, firing additionally. The purple player is retreating due to being overwhelmed in the field. Red player's cavalry on the go here, moving north. And attacking the periphery, choosing not to attack the civic center itself at this point. I'm sorry, everybody. I really got a cough here. Sorry about that. Oh, and look at that! A military colony right on the purple player's border. That has got to be unpleasant. Some women trying to hold on to this house, but pretty soon it's going to be a lot more difficult. Now the troops have a nice base to attack from. Purple player doesn't have too many troops left here. The red player moves in to grab some resources, choosing to take this stone right here. I don't think this will be enough to take out the colony. Colony has plenty of troops garrisoned on the inside. This makes it difficult for the purple player to attack, due to being constantly at risk of being flanked. But the purple player has chosen to attack anyway, and has somewhat succeeded. But ultimately, I don't think that it's too effective. The red player has been baited out and could get sandwiched here. There it is. There's the sandwich. But no, the red player is retreating from this fight. And the cavalry is being routed in the battle. Meanwhile, the red player is gathering resources. Let's take a look at the resources being gathered here. Ooh, the purple player definitely is up on food, which means that the purple player hasn't been getting many troops out. And red player definitely ahead on population. The cavalry is being chased down throughout the whole map. But this is a time-consuming activity for the purple player. Purple player finally choosing to build a barracks. The red player is now building a temple. This temple is going to allow the red player to have a much stronger presence in the area due to being able to rapidly restore units in this region. Purple player is gathering up for an attack. And here it comes. The red player is garrisoning the military colony, but it seems to be unnecessary now, as the purple player has chosen not to directly attack the red player at this point in time anyway. The temple continues to be built. It will be completed relatively soon if the purple player doesn't stop the red player here. Purple player looking for an opportunity to attack the red player. 1906 completion. There's not much left on that. But the purple player has chosen to take it down. The red player has retreated troops and has chosen not to complete the construction of the temple. This is a minor victory for the purple player, preventing the red player from constructing a temple here. But the presence of a defense tower, as well as the colony, still dominates over this region. Outpost has been constructed. The purple player has reached the town phase and is in the process of getting some more cavalry and also building a temple. The red player has decided to build the temple and an additional defense tower. Although the completion of this defense tower might not necessarily occur. Purple player has chosen to heal up these troops. And the defense tower is rising rapidly. Purple player has done some minor raids against the red player. But the question is, who will triumph in the end? Will this defense tower be done soon enough? Looks like the purple player has plenty of firepower right here, and is now taking down the defense tower. Sorry about that. Meanwhile, in the middle, the purple player chooses to advance against the red player. A new defense tower is being constructed. But the purple player is moving in to ravage the red player's lands here, the core territory. take a look at this battle that's unfolding here. It looks like the numbers are pretty even. Purple player is losing health on a lot of these a lot faster, but has gained the numerical advantage. But now has to retreat. Sorry about that. And now a temple lords over this region. The red player has taken control of the storehouse and is beginning to gather the wood in this region close to the purple player's base. The red player has advanced into the city phase. This does not bode well for the purple player, but the purple player continues to attack and raid the red player's territory, but is about to get hit in the rear here. And the troops split off to fight. The red player is now moving in to build a fortress right on the purple player's doorstep. And has even chosen to mildly attack the civic center. It looks like this might be a base race. Fortress is nearing completion. Once it is done, the red player's presence here is definitely a lot greater. The purple player is quickly losing these buildings. The red player's troops move in onto the purple player's turf. The purple player's troops move in on the red player's turf, trying to raid the red player's core territory.
DST?
And although they are killing plenty of units, it doesn't look like they are making too many gains here.
DST?
The red player has begun to move into the purple player's territory to ravage it. The women are attempting to retreat into the houses. The temple still has plenty of troops inside of it. The purple player is gathering back toward the temple.
DST?
And the purple player's troops are getting a bit defeated here.
DST?
And what's this? The red player's sending women out here. What? Why? But here it is. The elephants taking down the civic center. There you go. There you have it. The purple player continues to fight on. But everything seems to be rapidly falling apart here. And there it is. The purple player has resigned. And the red player takes a victory lap to take down the remaining troops that the purple player has lying about here. What a game. It looks like the purple player tried to attack and defend at the same time, and really wasn't pushing hard enough on either of them, which led to the red player doing decently well at defending, which in theory should be easier than attacking. And the red player mainly focusing on attacking, which made it more difficult for the purple player to defend, as the purple player didn't really build any defensive buildings to deal with the red player's advance. But there you have it. Economically and militarily, the red player did have the advantage, although the score difference isn't immense. Red player definitely built a lot more houses and more military buildings, and in the end produced more units, but ended up losing quite a bit of infantry and a lot of workers, specifically women, that were killed in raids. So in the end, the red player had a lot more losses in total and less kills. Resource-wise, the purple player definitely was up on food, but ended up being a bit down on wood, stone, and metal. Metal by far, and stone by far as well. Red player gaining plenty of loot throughout the game. So yeah, the purple player seemed to do well in the tactical engagements, but in overall strategy, it looks like the red player took the advantage in being able to entrench an offensive position and at the same time not sacrificing the defensive position as well, and then being able to continually push the offensive position. Meanwhile, the purple player didn't push back as hard against the red player's advance as he should have, leading to the purple player's eventual demise. And here's a chart economically. They were pretty close for a lot of the game, but in the late game, the red player was taking the lead. Militarily, they were pretty close here, although the purple player was quite a bit ahead for some time. And in total, the purple player with that early game rush was doing really well, but later on the red player started to gain an advantage and just did not lose ground, while the purple player attempted to continue raiding tactics, but was not able to gain any actual ground as the fight unfolded. So anyway, thank you all for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. If you have anything to add to this, please do so in the comments section below. And I will be seeing you all next time on Awiltos over and out.